Good afternoon, Summoners, and we welcome you to the third week of the Bacchus Pro Gaming Series 2017 Summer Split. I am Vulcan, and joining with me is Arctic, my co-caster. So, Arctic, we are now on our third week.
Yes, indeed. And even though it's the third week, there's been so much action within the first 2 weeks. A few clear hits and a few misses from the other teams. But of course, we still have a few weeks left to go for, anything can happen at this point. Some people might be at the top right now, fumble to the bottom and vice versa. We'll just have to see how the teams have prepared.
And to our viewers out there, I hope you are prepared because we are still, running our usual promos to keep you guys engaged and excited. For the third week, we are going to be having our match and win promo. I hope you guys remember the mechanics. In short, there will be a code that will pop up during the stream. There'll be one missing code. You gotta fill in that code. It could be a number, it could be a letter, any of it, and you get a chance to unlock yourself a 250 RP skin or aka an Imperial skin.
Yeah, it could range from an RK Ezreal. There's a lot of good 250 pesos skins out there. But of course, yeah, it's gonna be one code per match. So keep your eyes peeled, guys, and you might be that lucky winner.
So yeah, if it's a one code per match, then the first team, the first match, we'll have a code out there for you guys. But on to the schedule to see what's coming up on the third week. Definitely one of the teams that rose up from, not really rose up, but really showed us that they have what it takes to represent the Philippines in the GBL. Team Manila Eagles versus Acclaim Empire X for the first match, followed by Asian Arena and Genski. And the third match, old rivalry comes into place with Imperium Pro Team against Mineski.
Yeah, a lot of really hyped matches for today, and very action-packed. Just right up the start. Game one, TME versus AEX. Of course, TME, one of the living up to their name, Manila Eagles, they're really soaring this split. And of course, AEX, one of the former champions from the last season, actually.
So actually, let's see why TME is soaring right now through the standings. From, of course, 6 games have already been completed. So, wow, I gotta say, man, with TME, with 6-0, a perfect streak so far, entitling them to a 9 points, sitting at the top of the food chain, whereas AEX and the Imperium Pro team is teetering behind them just in a bit. But I think in the third week, we'll be seeing this tiebreakers, this evenly scored break.
Yeah, and I mean, TME definitely had a great they have a great standing right now. If anything, they're probably most likely, unless I highly doubt there's going to be a moment where they'll just fumble with consistent 0-2s. That's highly improbable at this point. But yeah, I have a gut feeling that they're most likely going to be in the playoffs this split. Finally, actually. Finally.
We've always been seeing a clean sweep, but today we might be experiencing a 1-1 for TME. But let's see in a bit. But to our other summers out there, of course, we have something for our viewers, but also for the working class. Of course, you are very, very busy and you don't have that much time to enjoy yourself. So to the summoners out there who are in the working class, we have our Summoner Shift After Work Hangout.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. You can, of course, get free starter codes, win merchandise, along with the chance at winning RP within the 40,000 RP prize pool, and of course a few mini games along the way just to add a little bit of hype and excitement during the event.
Save that date, July 1, Saturday, 10 a.m. at the G1 Gaming Cafe at Guadalupe. So guys, to our working summoners out there, you have to actually present your company. I mean, how well can you play League of Legends?
Exactly, gather, figure out, meron bang mga diamond, platinum ba sa kumpanya, or baka mamaya mga gold, silvers. I think I might need to carry a bit. Pero, tingnan, of course, gather your office mates, whoever plays LOL, and form a team and join in.
And also to our summoners who are very talented in drawing. I'm very poor skilled in drawing, but Rampage is coming up, and Rampage is the stage for the finals of the PGS. So we have something very exciting in store for you guys. It's called the PGS Digital Fan Art Contest. So to get further details about that, visit our website, esports.garena.ph/PGS. In short, you have to create a digital artwork. You cannot hand draw it and then scan it. That is not part of the mechanics, and you will not be eligible to enter. So, more information, more prizes there. Visit that website at esports.garena.ph/PGS.
Yeah, and be sure to look out for that article for more details. So yeah, of course, with all said and done, let's talk about this first matchup a bit.
Oh.
I mean, TME versus AEX. Like I mentioned earlier, TME, they're just soaring. If anything, I'm so happy. Admittedly, I've been following some of the players, like Mark, especially one of my favorite AD carries, and who I consider one of the best, if not the best AD carry in the Philippines right now. So I love the fact that they're finally stepping up their game and showing. I mean, like, I was kind of worried that it might be the same consistent thing, split per split, wherein we'd find TME in this awkward position where they find themselves in the bottom 4, but finally they're proving themselves worthy of maybe just most highly likely making the playoffs.
And also, we are actually seeing a pattern right now. TME, they have overthrew the big titans. Mineski swept them. IPT swept them. Now it's time to take down AEX for their name, for their pride and glory. TME facing off against the ex-champions, AEX.
Oh yeah, and I bet both sides definitely prepared for this matchup here. Of course, Manila Eagles, they want to continue that momentum in going undefeated. I mean, who wouldn't? And of course, for Acclaim Empire, they want to claim their throne once again and throw Manila Eagles off. So of course,
If they ever, throw AEX with a sweep, just goes to show how much powerful TME has become.
yeah, I mean, these roster changes are really interesting. Some have been really benefiting, some not as much, I'd say. But of course, TME definitely coming up on top. But let's go ahead and check out the bans here. Of course, Kha'Zix and Caitlyn and Sejuani going to be banned from Acclaim Empire X. You know, Kha'Zix, of course, with much respect to Tomsu. And of course, Caitlyn, Mirmo is somewhat adjacent to when I think Caitlyn, when I think Mirmo, I automatically think how deadly, how godly this Caitlyn is. Oh my goodness, I'm such a fan. Of course, Sejuani is another one of those champions which Canon has been practicing himself.
And Mirmo is one of the, I think one point he reached top 1 challenger, if
Yes.
I'm not mistaken. So that will be interesting to see how he will fare against Marky, who has shown consistency.
And of course, going to the banks of Acclaim Empire X, before we touch on to the first pick right there, it's going to be Saya, Zach, and Thresh. No surprise right there. We have seen Marky. Parang, if anything, I would almost dub him Saya PH because he's literally the best I've seen out of a player in terms of the mechanics you'd need for running Saya. But of course, Saya was nerfed as of the 7.12 patch a bit. I wouldn't say a bit, like, I've been talking with some of the players, it's actually hit her quite a bit. But nonetheless, I think that's a true test here, wherein if you could run a champion that despite being nerfed, you could still show how strong you are, then that's definitely a good sign that you're a great player. But going into the picks, of course, Shen going to be first picked by TME. We have seen JLC on that Shen, though.
Yeah, pretty godlike.
Oh,
And
yeah.
also the pressure he offers in the laning phase. But for AEX, they have actually prioritized that Galio and Grace. We have yet to see a Grace return to the PGS for quite some time in the scene for the jungle. But right now we'll be seeing it in the opening match for the 3rd week. So Trevor locking in that Lulu for the priority. So first picking phase completed. Let's move on to the second banning phase.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm really raring to see what they're gonna go for here, but I gotta give props to AEX. They're going for this Rakan pick. If anything, what's interesting about Rakan is because of that buff wherein they extended the range on him on one of the skills. That being said, it like literally took him to a whole nother level. And what's really interesting is that after that buff, there's been a huge boost as far as this pick right here. If anything, like even in the smaller tournaments, which I've been following here locally, I've been seeing a lot of Rakan lately. So I'm actually not as surprised that we're actually going to be seeing, if anything, we might actually see a lot more Rakan in the PGS.
And I hope to see actually an ADC that complements a Rakan.
Oh.
In a way, a Rakan is that more attractive Alistar, more mobile in a sense. But for TME side, they are going to be banning out that Kalista or Oriella, whereas AEX showing some respect to the mid lane, the banning out the Cassiopeia and the Victor.
Yeah, interesting actually. And at the same time, the Kalista being going to be banned from Nirmo. So I love the respect actually.
Let's see, the battle of the ADCs will determine from the picking phase itself. Mermo will be trying to, try to match the mechanics of Marky, but I gotta say Mermo as who've reached rank 1 challenger, we have to expect something from him, but now we'll be seeing Lucian being picked up for him, and whereas we're gonna be seeing a cannon hover so far.
Ooh, this is is actually very, very interesting this far. But yeah, I mean, what's interesting about AEX here is that Lucian, particularly, this could potentially be a flex as well. We have seen that Lucian being sent to the mid lane. But if anything, I'm most likely anticipating, there we go, so the Vlad is going to be hovered over. But yeah, I was highly anticipating that the solution was going to be given to Mirmo either way, because this is another one of the champions that he's extremely efficient at. And following him throughout the Piltover's Finest series, even to an extent, like once he gets that Lucian going, especially if he snowballs so hard early game, it's so hard to take down Mirmo. He's a pretty unique ADC, I'd say, just him as a player, because of the circumstances wherein people always look out for him. He's one of those players that you don't want to snowball either way. But yeah, looks like the picks are actually locked in here, so it's going to be a ADC Kennen for Mark.
Wow. ADC Kennen against Lucian. I'd say it's pretty well matched. Kennen does have the mobility and the stun and the utilities, but here is our player statistics for our match up. It would be, of course, in the mid lane, Trevor against Awaken.
Oh man, it's kind of like the battle of the veteran versus new blood here, because Trevor technically, he's been in the scene for quite a while. And if anything, probably one of the most promising talents that we have as of recent. You know, he's really emerging strong with Team Manila Eagles. Of course, for Awaken on Acclaim Empire X. He's very, very much new, but then again, he's exceeding expectations. If anything, we did talk about that matchup between him and Calculated during the previous match, wherein he definitely showed that he deserved to be on the new Acclaim Empire X roster. But of course, we'll just have to see how all goes down on Summoner's Rift later on.
I'm pretty worried for Ari, for Trevor, because Ari has been nerfed heavily in terms of scaling. So how he will fare against Vladimir, where he can just completely deny the combo by just dodging that charm, we'll have to see in a bit. But I'm really excited to see how Marky and Mirmo in the bottom lane will really duel it out, in the sense of who is the better marksman entering the summer split of the BGS.
Yeah, not to mention that technically, although we do see Kennen as an AD carry for a few games in the past, I'd still consider Kennen somewhat of an unorthodox AD carry pick nonetheless. Because there's so many, I mean, technically you'd see a lot more Kennen in the top lane, not as much in AD carry, but still, like if you get that Kennen going in that role, it's actually quite good. And looking at the composition that Acclaim Empire X has, I actually like this Kennen pick, because there's so many champions that actually go in onto the members of TME, and just that stun from Kennen really works out for him.
Exciting first match, I gotta say. I mean, AEX, TME rising above the stats and scores against AEX, who has been one of the titans so far, but we'll have to see in a bit. But to our viewers out there, please take note that we are still on our promo, the match and win. Remember, there will be a code, watch out for it. But first, let's wait out for the riff. Here we are, on to the rift. This is the first match of TME against AEX, entering the third week of the Bacchus Pro Gaming Series Summer Split 2017. Drive your energy.
Yeah, there we go. And of course, it is going to be the match between Team Manila Eagles versus Acclaim Empire X. Of course, who will emerge on top, who will emerge for that, of course, the battle of supremacy here, because these are the teams that are in the top two right now. So AEX definitely looking to overtake TME, but of course TME themselves do not want to end that undefeated streak, that cherry on top to the start of a great split.
And for TME, if they manage to sweep the floor against AEX, they will be waiting at Rampage stage for the Gauntlet format. So pretty high stakes for TME so far if they want to relax and unwind and then prepare for the finals. This is a match they have to really get a clean score.
And of course, looking at the itemization, of course, for both sides here, I'm giving particular notice to Rakan. Ancient Coin start, so this will actually be interesting. If ever Vanguard does decide to eventually lead this into the Talisman of Ascension, imagine just how fast AEX could go in onto the members of TME because of that additional speed, not to mention that extra charm coming from Rakan because of his ultimate.
And that's going to be a huge blow to TME, knowing that they are not that mobile in a sense compared to Trevor and the mid lane. But we gotta wait out for the junglers to really dictate how the flow is going to happen in the game.
Yeah, and looks like with both junglers starting off towards the top side, I actually wouldn't be surprised if we see some earlier on action in the bot lane, because for mid lane, well, technically Awaken definitely has a lot more chances of surviving ganks against an Ahri, I'd say, just purely, well, pre-level 6 of course, just purely based off, we've all seen how Sanguine Pool is such a key skill as to canceling any initiates, but oh, there we go, Rock's actually getting knocked out.
Some trades happening, and I think Vanguard regrets his position. Marky trying to stack those stun, gets stunned onto Mermo, heals burn, exhaust onto Marky, and that would just be a huge blow to AEX.
Yeah, you know, Vanguard has to be particularly careful because he wasn't even level 2 just yet, which is why taking a lot of harass from Marky and Rock definitely kind of sets them back a bit within the first few minutes of the game, and they have to be a little bit more careful with that heal being procced.
Better be careful. Vanguard, Rakan can go really aggressive as a support, but has to take note that if you go in on a Lulu, that is the punishment you're going to receive. And now, without any heal left, Mermo is very low on health, but it has to be Vanguard really offering that small sustain. But right now, Damso looking for some ganks over the wall.
Ooh, will be spotted out though, unfortunately. Good timing there from Rock though, a little good sense there. Of course, this is past the 3-minute mark, so you know it's perfect timing to set down a ward, and almost a good prediction there. Damso, of course, could have been potentially going in with that blasting cone for that sneaky in, so good premonition there from Team Manila Eagles.
I wonder how Damso will fare in the jungle, knowing that we have yet to see a Grave really being played consistently. Oh, Vanguard! Very low on health. Marky, though, pretty close for that first blood.
I really love the confidence coming here from this bot lane. The Cannon and the Lulu, they know that they have all the advantages in the world, but here comes a taunt from JLC.
Oh, JLC knows his limit. So Cannon, though, getting so much punishment. He does get a shield to help him trade off, but in the long run, you do not really trade well against the Shen if you have a resource.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I really like about JLC is actually pretty proficient with the Shen. If anything, probably one of the best Shen players in the PGS thus far. Next to Cannon, I believe, he's also a very proficient Shen user. That being said, AEX, you know, especially Thompson, I definitely feel that he has his work cut out for him because he really needs to help balance out these lanes, and especially bot lane.
Yeah, interesting in the bottom lane that we still see Marky picking up the Doran's shield after some cost upgrade to 400 to 450. Not that strong as a Doran's Blade start, but still it's really complements the Cannon more throughout.
Definitely. And here we go, signature Tomsu trying to see if he could steal any camps, and he will be able to seek out the bullets though, but
but at what price? We gotta be seeing Coops spotting in, he gets spotted, but still succeeds in taking some resources.
In all fairness though, like, it's pretty evened out in the jungle so far, like 24 to 25 in terms of CS, but here comes the taunt.
Oh, DLC setting up for a taunt, but no follow-up from Coops, very far away from the map, so more of some aggression showing in from TME. But wow, look at that bottom lane. The fact that the heal has been burned very early to the game really punishes Mermo and Vanguard.
Yeah, this is actually very... Oh, there we go. The Coops actually getting caught out.
Coops does forcing out his flash, cannot body slam.
Yeah, you know, trying to do a little Thompson moves themselves by going for that invade. Of course, not as successful because he did lose his summoners as a result, as Thompson actually still has his flash despite that invade earlier. But yeah, going to the bot lane, what's interesting is that when I think of what Mirmo's strengths are as an AD carry, it's actually that when you, like I mentioned, when you get things going for him early game, he just snowballs out of control. That being said, it's actually interesting looking at him in a position where he's actually getting harassed a lot and has to show a little bit of restraint because he could easily be taken down by both Marky and Rock with this duo we have here.
And look at that, Marky and Rock really trying to freeze the lane, controlling how the bottom lane works, but we will be seeing Coops visiting there, but Marky's not going to wait for that. He does get exhausted again. Mermo is very low. No mana to really dish in that relentless pursuit.
Definitely, and of course, with that, they'll be forced to back away for the meantime, giving Marky that extra leverage to farm this out and, of course, push out the lane. It's actually very good, but looks like Mirmo will be sticking around for that extra CS.
And here's the keystones for the Masteries of all champions. Interesting, we're seeing Storm Raider surge onto Tamsu, so it could be either the Thunder Lord's Decree or that. I think the Storm Ranger surge really works well in the sense that Tamsu will be very mobile and can chase down enemies.
There you go. And look at Marky and Rox. They're actually quite confident pushing this out right off the bat. They know what their advantages are with this bot lane. But of course, they'll have to be a little bit more careful because transitioning into level 6, that's where things will be a little bit more trickier in my opinion. But of course, because of, like I mentioned, the good thing here about the Kennen is that with that one slicing Maelstrom, and the champions that AEX has, it easily puts members of AEX within the vicinity of that ultimate.
And also the setup for TME will be very easy for them, and AEX really has to watch out their position. So, wow, I gotta say, this is the PGS, 7 minutes and 40 seconds into the game, no first blood yet. This is a game where they will be winning through their spike, waiting out the right time to go all in, but looking at the itemization for Mermo, he does have the Cutlass, whereas Marky goes for a more mobile itemization, goes for the Greaves, Longsword, and a Dagger.
Yeah, and if you're going to look at the composition that TME has, I actually like the flexibility of their composition in the sense that they have so many tools for engages, they have some pretty good disengages, so it's pretty balanced. Well, as opposed to AEX, I feel like they have a little bit more of an all-in composition. Although technically, because of these all-ins, once these battles go on, if they could thrive while having a great front line in terms of cannon, the damage output as well from Vladimir Graves and from Illusion as well, it's actually pretty good. Not to mention with the Rakan to back things up for Galio. It actually makes a great combo if they could get all that damage out in one fell sweep.
And we can't really expect that the junglers will have to be doing a lot of work, but leave it up to the laners to do their job. And we did see what happened to Awaken in the mid lane. Lots of punishment happened to him. Trevor is on a blue buff, so he is not scared or restricted by his resource. He can go all in if he chooses, just really diminishing Awaken's health.
And what I really like about, let's go ahead and check out the itemization for top lane really quick. GLC actually going for the Tiamat, so grants him actually some great push. Not to mention the fact that if you're going to consider Shen's kit right here, the ability that grants him that extra attack speed, so it's very easy to get some push on in, grants him a little bit more opportunity to roam, not just with the teleport, but of course with the ultimate as well.
Wow, what a mirror. We just saw that Ghost was spotted by the ward in the brush side. So AEX didn't go all in, but this time will be TME spotting out Tamsu in that brush. So really the pressure that both teams are exerting is in the bottom lane to get Mermo to start snowballing. And when he starts snowballing, he will deliver. But here comes the charm and ignite combo, and there it is! The first blood for TME.
Oh man, looks like we have our answer here to the earlier matchup that we had. Of course, Trevor versus Awaken. First blood will be rewarded to Trevor. So Trevor definitely flexing some muscles here, showing that he is the better. He's a veteran for a reason, and you know.
Oh, Marky though setting up for those stuns, and when a first blood happens, all teams can go all in. They have no worries of giving a huge lead to the enemies, since it would be Awaken really bearing that burden that he did give the first blood.
Yeah, not to mention with that first blood, also if you're going to look at the CS difference for bot lane, it's slowly creeping towards the advantage of Marky here. 20 CS and slowly, like I mentioned, slowly growing. So it's definitely something that AEX has to consider. But then again, looking at the composition that AEX has, they definitely have a lot of thriving later on.
Wow, fearless! Look at the aggression coming from TME, the bot lane duo. Scoops though will be joining in. Here comes Shed. JLC, a 4-man tower dive with Marky setting up with a slashing master. JLC manages to land a taunt, but the hero's entrance will not make it out alive. That will be 2 members down. Marky though hopping over the blast code. Awaken coming from the mid lane with a ghost. Tamsu goes in, flash is burnt. Rox and Marky has to back away. Coops is gone, and now here comes the flash in from Awaken. The heal won't be enough, and that will be a trade-off for AEX.
Oh man, that was a 2 for 3. AEX definitely coming up on top, and that's the beauty of having not only the Galio, Awaken as well, of course, was very easily was able to respond right away, as opposed to Trevor actually coming to base, which is why he wasn't able to respond right away.
The tower dive was really well orchestrated for TME, but the fact that they could not pull out effectively was very bad. That's how AEX was managed to come on top with a trade for 2-3.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, TME definitely had a great initiate here, but the follow-up as far as responses was definitely on AEX. While we kind of expected that it would grow heavily in TME's favor because that was a great initiate. I love the combo between the timing of the ult coming from JLC to make sure that Coops was sustained. All that tower damage was excellent. But that being said, because of the response from Cannon, because of the hero's entrance, not to mention Awaken, clearly Awaken, you know. So, but yeah,
JLC landing a flash and thought that would be a down call for Mermo. 2-1-1 for the KDA of Marky. D is coming out on top with Mermo falling behind with a huge CS deficit and killed gold.
I love how even though JLC sticks
here comes Samsu, sitting for a kill. That will not cut it down, so you gotta land those skill shots, but it's very difficult knowing that Trevor is on that Ari, and I think we have our first turn of the game, but Marky is taking its time, but of course, it will go towards TME.
Oh man, very good start here for teammate, but of course AEX flexing their own muscles here, of course, because of that 3 kills that they got, it's still pretty balanced for both sides. So,
but in terms of gold, I gotta hand it, Marky is richer than Mermo by a long shot. He has 2 kills, 1 assist, and the fact that he got the first blood assist, more gold for him, instantly grants him the Blade of the Ruined King and a CS lead of 30, close to 30.
Definitely. And I actually like how it was JLC, the one that was towards bot lane. If you notice, it was actually Coops lingering, clearing out towards top lane, as well as making sure that he was in the vicinity to stop any pushes from Cannon. So I actually like the overall macro coming from Team E. That's for how they have everything covered. And it's not that, because the tendency here for some players is that you'd think that since JLC is towards bot lane, he'd be sacrificing, allowing Cannon to farm up top lane, and if anything, potentially maybe even get a lot of tower damage off that top. But because Coops was having that covered, it's actually pretty well played out here, pretty well planned out actually by TME.
So far, TME looking very good as of now, but the kill score is not that far behind, but the gold is all to Marky. He is running a fervent battle, so expect that Mermo will not have what he wants in the early phase of the game, where he will snowball, which is a huge setback for AEX.
Here we go, and looks like AEX actually going to transition to the top side now, of course, with to match TME's own switch out Ru as well.
Marky, the brush side.
He knows how deadly he is.
A little rat in a brush. I wonder what will happen there though. Rox though making some precautions for those wards, but you can still see that Marky, patient as a hunter, going in, waiting for Mermo to overcommit.
I actually like that clear on Rox right there, because there we go, this is what I'm talking about, because of Coops in the vicinity.
You did a lane swap, here he comes again to the top lane, Mermo gets taken down, 0-3 KD, yeah, Coops picks up the kill. Lane swap may happen, but we will still go for you, Mermo.
Oh man, absolutely beautiful combos here from TME. If anything, it's definitely, we may be seeing that same combination, that same strategy, that same pattern, but it's definitely working in their favor. AEX, of course, will be trying to respond with this mid lane take as well as bot lane.
But right now, TME, there is no bottom lane or top lane. There is only one lane Dino, and that is the shutdown. Mermo, but Tamsu gets ignited. Trevor makes the moves, he picks up the kill. Awaken gets body slammed, stunned against the wall. Explodes the cast to deliver the double kill for Trevor.
Man, Trevor not giving a care in the world. Sure, Ari got nerfed, but it's all about who's using the champion, and he's definitely flexing some muscles here, showing that despite those nerfs, he could emerge victorious on this Ari. 3-0-0, not to mention 137 CS, almost 10 to 15 CS up on Awaken here. So yeah, TME definitely has the wheels rolling for him, and it's actually quite refreshing to watch right now.
Wow. 7-3 skill score, and now the Rift Herald will be up for grabs with TME starting it already.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing here is that AEX, they do have knowledge of this Rift Herald be taken. They did get a glimpse of Rox there, getting some poke on to the Rift Herald. But that being said, you know, they couldn't really respond to it right now because of TME having so much control. And that being said, with this Rift Herald take, it's only going to grant TME all the more flexibility across this map and to exert a lot more dominance onto the Claim Empire X.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Of which lane is going to snowball? The answer was TME going in after the first blood dealt by Trevor. That was a signal for them to go all out. No restrictions, and that's what happened. Mermo died once. After that, it was just continuously happening, and TME knows which lane to shut down. It's not where it is. It's not either top lane or bot lane. It's where Mermo is rotating. They know how to track him down.
I really like how they're utilizing the Shen in this competition. Golden thought right there, but ooh. But yeah, as I was saying, I really love how Stan United is being properly used by JLC here, because there's definitely a lot of uses, but we'll just have to see Marky. We'll have to run.
Gets taunted by Cannon, but he will be flashing over the wall. Marky is though trying to make some moves, but Tamsu will be cornering him down. Morox though managed to take down Vanguard. The hero's entrance is a bit too delayed. Cannon was very focused onto Marky.
Yeah,
now,
definitely.
The Mountain Drake might be up for grabs.
Yeah, this would actually be a good objective for AEX in my opinion, because if you're going to look at how much damage that they could exert, it definitely allowed them a bit more faster clears. But that being said, I feel like any objective that they could get at this point would benefit them, because TME definitely at the upper side of the spectrum right now. Aiden Core, not to mention the goal deficit, definitely really working out for them right now.
And also, the Baron will be live in quite a bit, and we've seen when the Baron spawns, teams already take the Baron because they have this lead right now. Might as well just take the Baron. They also have the Rift Herald that's yet to be taken down. Now it will be the Mountain Drake setting up for TME.
Yeah, and Rift Herald actually still 50%. It's lasting right here, so I'm actually interested in how TME will be utilizing this. And especially with that Mountain Drake, we're definitely going to grant them so much more powerful siege potential.
18 minutes into the game with Rift Herald still in the hands of TME. Baron will be live in 1 minute and 16 seconds. AEX win conditions so far, they have to, and I'm pretty sure stall is the right word, because I don't think TME is going to wait. The fact that their game was to snowball Mermo on that loop failed. I hope they have a plan B. So that Trevor is free to roam all over the map, and with a shutting down Tamsu in his own jungle.
Yeah,
blood after blood. Awaken got curious, wanted to help out, but pays the price.
Oh man,
now
all of the aggression across the map here, and I'm actually liking the split here towards top lane, towards bot lane, especially with this Rift Herald.
That's not gonna last. The turret is at the mercy of the Rift Herald, and also Vanguard gets placed back. He's very low. Marky picks up the kill onto Vanguard, while Cannon couldn't do anything.
Oh man, and you know what's so tricky here is that AEX, they technically want to thrive together in these when they're together in the 5v5s, but because of the split push.
Oh, here it comes. Cover play from JLC. Cannon gets stunned and stunned again. Double CC triple onto Cannon. Way to shut him down.
Oh man, shut down indeed, and TME is not done just yet. Look at the damage going on to Mirmo.
Mirmo's very low. Marky gets sustained by the Lulu. They're still going at it, not giving up just yet. Tamsu and Awaken going for the flag. Ghost is onto Awaken, aiming for whoever he sees pleasurable. He comes in for the Sanger full engage. Marky is at the top of the food chain. He manages to escape, but it'll be Mermo still staying behind with Awaken zoning at the members of TME. JLC though still tanking up to sustain. Here comes the body slam combo. Engage from Coops. He managed to get the kill onto Mermo. JLC still sticking in to Vanguard. There is the Colossal Shield, and now with 2 members left, very low. JLC misses a ton and also misses a crucial skill shot. That would be Tamsu coming out on top, but I don't think Marky's done yet. He does have the speed boost. He's still going for it. Will he land a stun? I don't know.
I love the distractions across the board here. Awaken distracted with the Gragas. Tamsu and Vanguard distracted by Marky here, granting Trevor the opportunity to push out top lane as well. So this is what I really like about TME. Because AEX is forced to separate from each other to respond to whatever TME's proactive movements are across the map, they couldn't really utilize the composition that they have, wherein technically they do really well in these 5v5s, but because TME is dictating the flow of this game, they couldn't really do that right now.
JLC with the place of the Stan United. That's how they were able to play very aggressively with a safeguard from their top laner. And not to mention for Copes, that explosive cask is not used for a disengage, but to really reel in the kill for them and just deliver the package for whoever it is. Like Trevor managed to get a double kill from that, and also for Marky, managed to snowball. Look at the KDS. 4-2-3. Picks up the Runans, and now an Executioner's calling to really deny the survivability from Murmu and Awaken.
Yeah, definitely. And what's so tricky here for AEX, it's if I were in their shoes right now, I'd find this situation quite complicated because for Vanguard here, for instance, with this Rakan, because of all the responses that AEX needs to do across the map to whatever TME is doing, they
Marky's up. Still not respecting the damage from Awaken. JLC will be there. He's still sticking to it. Taunt lands onto Awaken, but Marky will be paying the price. Cannon comes in for the engage. That will be 5 members collapsing onto JLC. That will be a double kill for the mid laner. Awaken manages to really at least catch up to that gold. That is the mistake that Marky and JLC has to stop doing. They cannot be complacent, knowing that this is the ex-champions from the last split.
Definitely. But that being said, whereas this is technically what TME should not be doing, this is what AEX should be doing, trying to pick off members from TME because they have all this damage, they have all this follow-ups to just really pick off members of TME. That being said, they need to find more instances like that.
No, Trevor gets caught up in the blue side of the jungle. He flashes out, really distracting the members of AEX. That's something that I think they wanted to do, knowing that the top lane's minion wave is in their favor, but you cannot give AEX like 2 members down for TME. That's a signal for AEX to go in. This is the team who managed to end the game in 18 minutes thanks to the Rift Herald.
There we go. So TME, of course, this Baron would be a juicy objective for them. In fact, the cherry on top of a great lead so far, and if they do manage to secure this Baron buff, it only limits AEX to their movement across this map because TME definitely has a lot of confidence roaming, if anything, which is why some of them were picked off earlier on, but still, because of the lead that they have all that opportunity, all the flexibility in the world to do so. So AEX definitely doesn't want to give that Baron whatsoever. Look at JLC though, getting some push on here in the spot lane. Again, pushing out these lanes here to grant TME that flexibility to try to go for further objective. And AEX, like I mentioned, they need to establish some level of defensive vision to counter that.
And also for sake of TME though, I hope they don't make mistakes like that. Trevor was very close in that danger zone. The Mountain Drake will be live in less than 40 seconds. The objective will be up for grabs for TME, but AEX will try to deny, so they have to be careful.
Yeah, Spirit Rush down for Trevor, but because of that cooldown, this is an Arya source. The cooldowns aren't necessarily high on that Spirit Rush. That being said, it does grant them a little bit of breathing room, but for how long exactly?
Oh boy, I can see Tamzu in the minimap, followed by the rest of his squad, aiming to really contest that Mountain Drake. They will not let them have their way, with Cannon being a bit busy in the Baron pit, but the focus is in the side. Marky goes in for the flag, Awaken flashes out. The Mountain Drake is still up for grabs. It will be AEX during the Mountain Drake. JLC is running away. Hero's Addis is coming in. That would be Cannon joining the team fight, but it will be Trevor still dealing out the damage. Marky is being untouched, dealing a lot of damage to the stun. Tamzu though forcing out the zone. Awaken though cannot do anything with the stun from the JLC. Murmur gets zoned by JLC, but there's the flash in by Marky. He gets a shot down. He gets the double. He gets the double kill onto AEX with Murmur left for them. He's the only one that manages to flash over the wall, but still wanted to make that sleek play going to the brush side, really costing them that ace and possibly the Baron.
Oh man, great for TME right there. Finally, we see a full-blown 5v5. And like I mentioned, technically these are clashes that AEX would thrive in because of their composition. That being said, the problem here is that because of the lead that TME has right now, they couldn't really do as much. The damage isn't quite there yet from AEX. And with this Baron buff right now, only going to grant further problems for Acclaim Empire X. And look at Trevor, they're going really strong with the split, because Vanguard couldn't really do that much. If anything, he needs to avoid the damage from Trevor, because that is a very, very painful Arya at 7-0 into.
And also the fact that JLC is always there. He does deliver the taunt, same as Cannon in a way, but the fact that Shannon offers more damage output is such a huge threat. And this is JLC we're talking about. He is running that Titanic Hydra and a Demon's Blade. Expect that he will be using his life at his best to zone out Murmu. And that's how they won that team fight.
And he doesn't even give a care in the world if he's behind in CS because of the lead that TME has. You know, at this point, CS doesn't really matter as much. So long as you have the objectives, you have the kills on your side, not to mention a 10,000 gold lead to boot. Cherry on top for TME.
And also for the itemization. I gotta say for Marky, he really is denying the mobility coming in from that Lucian. With the relentless pursuit and the gets completely denied by the stun. That's a huge setup for Trevor. Sees two members with the sweeping lens. Here comes JLC for the assist. Thompson though regretting his decision to cap Trevor. Now JLC will be making the push to awaken. Gets picked off. There will be all the squad in the top lane. That's a mistake.
Oh
for
man,
AEX.
as if the damage outcome from Trevor wasn't bad enough for AEX. Not to mention the fact because of the stand united from JLC for that extra protection, it just went way south for AEX. They technically initiated, but it didn't quite work out for them in the end. Clearly underestimating the damage coming from Trevor.
Okay, with the top lane inhibitor down, that will be the second inhibitor in the mid lane. TME is just demolishing the base of AEX. That would be it. That's more control for TME. Look at them, they're focusing on the cannon. He cannot escape. Here comes GLC for the flash and caught on the council and on the cannon. Murmur will try to back away, but it'll be GLC capping in the front line with Marky just dishing out the long range damage. Murmur gets caught up by Trevor. Trevor is legendary, and that, guys, I think might be the closing clash for AEX and TME. Look at the damage coming in from Trevor and Marky. They are not sending back at all. Cannon is very low. Awaken cannot do much. And with that said, the next turret will be taken down with Awaken ghosting in. Might go for Trevor, but does not choose to. Hero's engines off. I don't think that's going to happen too much.
No,
Arctic,
not at all.
I think this is TME still soaring up in the skies.
Definitely soaring, flying they are. Ladies and gentlemen, with a very convincing win for the first game of Week 3. Congratulations, Team Manila Eagles.
What an opening match starting into the third week with TME securing their first victory against AEX with that teleport play and the collapse into the bottom lane.
Man, oh man, oh man. TME played that composition to absolute perfection. Sure, they did have a few awkward moments where they did get picked off, but it didn't really deter them from the bigger picture because of that lead that they had. And I gotta attribute it to the fact that, along with the fact that Marky and Rox, they were so aggressive in that bot lane, really denying Mirmo and Vanguard any potential of keeping up in the game. Not to mention the fact they were so proactive within the early minutes of the game, which really contributed to this big lead that they had against Acclaim Empire X. That, like I mentioned, that being said, technically AEX had all the tools to be proactive in that game with the compositions that they had, but because of that lead, it ended up that they were being more reactive to TME.
And the first blood started and on to the end game stats. We see that, Trevor, perfect game, 805. I don't think that's going to set him back for now with Awaken really falling behind, and bottom lane just got demolished. Look at Mermos getting 0-6-6 and 0-5-5 to the bot lane duo with Marky coming out on top in the bottom lane with a very convincing team clash coming from TME.
Definitely, and again, the undefeated streak goes on for TME. Whether or not that they close it out with another 2-0, man, that's something I'm looking forward to. But look at the damage, Marky.
Damage output from Marky, hands down to the best ADC so far entering the Summer Split 2017 with that performance, consistency throughout the whole split. And that, guys, is what you expect from TME's a tremendous lead, and so far a clean game for the Manila Eagles, guys. There you have it. That was the first game of the first match. Don't go away. We'll be coming back for the second game. We have been the Shoutcasters. I am Vulcan, and joining with me is Arctic. You just watched the Backers Pro Gaming Series 2017 Summer Split. We'll be back after a short break.
Split push.
Oh, here it comes. Double play from JLC. Cannon gets stunned and stunned again. Double CC triple onto Cannon. Way to shut him down.
Oh man, comes down and TME.
Oh,
look at the damage going on the triple.
It was very low. Marky gets to see it by the loop. That would be Cannon joining the team fight, but it would be Trevor still getting on the damage. This Marky being untouched, getting a lot of damage to start. Tabuto forcing at the zone. Awakens though, cannot do anything with the stun from the JLC. Murmur gets zoned by JLC, but there's the flash in by Marky. He gets a shot out. He gets the double. He gets the double kill onto AEX with Murmur left for dead. He's the only one that manages to flash over though. over the wall, but the one of AEX, that would be it. That's more control for TME. Look at them, they focus on the cannon, he cannot escape. There comes DLC for the flash, and caught on the capsule and on the cannon. Murmur though tries to back away, but it'll be DLC coming in. The front line with Marky just dishing out the long range damage. Murmur gets caught up by Trevor. Trevor is legendary, and that, guys, I think might be the closing clash for AEX and TME. Look at the damage coming in from Trevor and Marky. They are not setting back at all. Cannon is very low. Awaken cannot do much. And with that said, the next turret will be taken down with Awaken. Goes in. Might go with Trevor, but does not choose to. Kill it and it's off. I don't think that's going to happen too much.
No,
Mark
not
there.
at all.
I think this is TME soaring up to the sky.
Definitely soaring, flying they are. Ladies and gentlemen, with a very convincing win for the first game of Week 3. Congratulations, Team Manila Eagles.
What an opening match starting the third week with TME securing their first victory against
Darkness is coming. This world needs to burn. You cannot hide from me. There is no shame in choosing chaos.
Come into the light. I will light the sky with my blade. Give your soul to the light. A new light dawns above this world.
I have one simple rule when it comes to the law. Time operates under my jurisdiction. And if anyone tries to create a loophole, I'll close it. You're out of time. A little proactive preparation. Everybody runs. In my sights. belongs in a museum.
What separates men from lesser men? Predators from prey? Fear. Predators smell it. And walk away when they don't.